Hi, everybody. This is Darryl Stewart at Release Your Fears and Redesign Your Life. This tapping video is on fear of sleeping and fear of not being aware at night when you're sleeping. I've had many clients who have struggled to sleep at night, and it generally has to do with this feeling of not being safe. And most often, what has happened to them is that there is a negative event or events that happened over the night when they were children, and they decided that it was not safe to sleep deeply or keep one eye open. So this shows up a lot around your thoughts around it's not safe to relax and sleep. You need to be super aware, hyper aware of your surroundings. You're not safe to fall asleep. You're not safe to stay asleep. And something bad will happen to you, or something bad will happen to somebody in your family. So I put together this tapping video for you in mind who is struggling to get a good night's sleep, struggling with relaxing at night around sleeping and being comfortable with sleeping for an extended period of time. So let's start in with the EFT tapping setup phrases and words to loosen the control of this fear of sleeping. So please have water, a pen and paper for this exercise so that you can write any ahas, insights, any connections to your past that are probably going to come up from this work. So start tapping on your karate chop and repeat this statement in your head or out loud, and between 0 and 100% strong for you in this moment. I have this fear of sleeping and not being aware, 0 to 100% true. I have this fear of sleeping and not being aware, 0 to 100% true. And a number should be popping up, and just write that down somewhere so that you can be aware of it, so that we can come back to it at the end of this tapping session so we can see if it's gone up, gone down, or it's stayed the same. And most times it usually goes down. So just take a deep breath and start tapping again on your karate chop, the side of your hand, and taking full responsibility for yourself while doing this video. If you do feel an increase of emotions or feelings while we're tapping, keep on tapping because the EFT tapping will help you decrease the intensity of feelings that you're having, and it's super important to keep on tapping. So let's begin. Repeat back to me out loud or in your head, even though I have this fear of sleeping and not being aware, I'm in the process of releasing this from my life. Even though I have this fear of sleeping and not being aware, and it comes from my childhood where I felt unsafe with what was going on around me. And I'm in the process of releasing this from my life. Even though I have this fear of sleeping and not being aware, I'm in the process of releasing this from my life. So let's do the tapping points. Top of your head, I can't relax at night. Eyebrow, I'm stressed out by something at night. I feel I should not relax. I'm worried if I relax too much, then something will happen in my family, collarbone, in my home, underneath the arm, with the people I care about. And I feel scared when I sleep. Something bad is going to happen to me at night. And I wasn't aware of it underneath the eye as a little child. Underneath the nose, noises would happen after I fall asleep. And I'm not awake when it happens. And I want to protect everyone in the house, even myself. Top of the head, and it gets really confusing when I'm still asleep. eyebrow, really overwhelming. And there's so much uncertainty here. Not feeling safe. And all this fear of sleeping comes up. And not being aware. So I just want you to take a deep breath and exhale it. Take another deep breath, exhale it. If you need to keep on tapping, please tap over your collarbone. I know this can get very overwhelming because what happens is that specific events or feelings or emotions or people from your past that this is related to are coming up. And what I want you to do is to write those down and take a moment to write those down on a piece of paper, in a notebook, in a journal, so that you can figure out, what the root cause of this fear of sleeping and not being aware of what's going on around you at night. So take that moment, put me on pause, and then we'll come back and do some more tapping. So let's begin and do more tapping. All this fear of sleep, eyebrow, and not being aware. Bad things happen at night. Underneath the eye, and I want to be aware of them. Underneath the nose. No wonder I don't like to sleep. Chin, and I don't want to relax at night. What will happen if I relax? I want to be aware. I want to be awake, in control, and I need to be vigilant. I want to feel safe, and I don't want to feel anxious. And a part of me decided when I was a kid that it wasn't safe, not safe to sleep, or to go bed when I was really, really tired. It's just safer to stay up, to not sleep. I don't want to miss out what's happening at night. And I've decided to stay awake as long as I can. And if I do sleep, then I can't sleep deeply because I need to be ready to be responsible and to stay safe. I need to be ready to react or act. To go from 0 to 60 in 1.2 seconds. All of this pressure. I've been shouldering all this responsibility to stay awake, to figure this out. Because a part of me doesn't believe that anybody will help. They're not aware. Underneath the arm, and no wonder I don't want to sleep. Because another bad thing might happen after I sleep. All the bad stuff happens when I sleep. And there was nothing I could do to change it. No wonder I want to stay awake. I want to be aware about what's going on and to control it. If I do that, then I have choices. I'll be able to help. And no wonder I have this fear of sleeping. So I just want you to take a deep breath and exhale it. And if you need to keep on tapping, please tap on your karate chop or your collarbone. And what's probably happening is you're tuning into a specific event, a specific negative event from your past, probably a feeling or emotion or a person. So take a moment and write down any specific events or people that are showing up, because that is the root reason, the root cause of why you fear sleeping and not being aware of what's going on. So put me on pause to do that, and we'll come back and do a little bit more tapping. So just take a deep breath and exhale it and go to the top of your head. There's still more work to be done around this. All this fear of sleeping. We've done some great work today, and I feel it less in my life now. I exactly know where it's coming from, and I want to be aware of it. Bad stuff did happen when I slept. And of course I was worried. Of course I was anxious. And no wonder I fear sleeping and not being aware. And there's still work to be done. And I can start asking for my needs now. I can set boundaries around me so I can feel calm and safe to start speaking my truth. And when something is not right, I can start speaking up. So I just want you to take a deep breath and exhale it, and take a sip of water if you need it. And please write any specific events or people that are coming up to the surface. So let's just check in with the original phrase that we started with, and start tapping on the side of your hand and take a deep breath. And just tuning into the original phrase, fear of sleeping and fear of not being aware. And let's look at the percentages right now. Repeat back to me. I have this fear of sleeping and not being aware, 0 to 100% true. I have this fear of sleeping and not being aware, 0 to 100% true. There should be a number popping up. Just write that number down and look at the number when we originally started and the number now. What's probably happening is that the number has probably gone down, which is fantastic. If it's gone up or it's stayed neutral, the same, then repeat this video all the way through and see how much you can reduce the percentages, because your percentages should be down below 50%. And if you need further support to release the deeper negative events that are coming up to the surface from this, because those are the root causes of why you have a fear of sleeping and not being aware of it, please click the link below. I would love to help you. We can set up a time to talk, and I would love to help you with this. So this is Darryl Stewart at Release Your Fears and Redesign Your Life.